Wow, later, such a relative term. Seems like only seconds for you, and it's been a bit for me. Let's continue our discussion on 1120 on the topic of financial analysis. Thanks for joining me. Let's get started. How about a goal for the day? That is to evaluate a business's performance using horizontal analysis. I listed several in my first screencast. Today we're going to tackle horizontal analysis. What do you suppose that means? Well, it means to look at how the balance in a particular account is increasing or decreasing over a period of time. You can do it on one account. You can do it on several accounts. Or you can do it on entire financial statements. You can do it for one period, but anything you do for one period is just a piece of raw data. But if you do it over a period of time and look at the trend, then you get a lot more data. I am going to give you some facts and show you what I mean. Hold on. I'm also going to incorporate it in on a trend analysis. So I'm going to look at the category sales, cost of goods sold, and gross profit. I'm going to look at it for several years, so it will be a trend analysis, 2015, 2014, 2013, and 2012. And I'm going to use 2012 as my base year. I'm going to use a formula for doing this. The author doesn't give it to you, but I like to use this formula. I used it in school. And it's a to-from approach. You take the year you want to go to from a particular year. I'm going to use 2012 as my base year, so it's always going to be my from year, and then I'm going to put 2013, 14, and 15's information in by comparing it to 2012. Let me give you some numbers. So I've copied down partial income statements, including sales, cost of goods sold, and sales minus cost of goods sold, as you know, is gross profit. And in 2012, my base year, my sales were $90,000. My cost of goods sold were $45,000, and my gross profit was $45,000. And I'm going to use 2012 as my base year. I'm going to go to 2013, and using my to-from ratio, I'm going to show you how I'm going to calculate sales. Well, I'm going to go to and from. I'm going to 2013, and that's $103,000. And I'm coming from 2012, that's $90,000. Take a moment and do that division. I usually subtract 100 from the answer, just for your information, if you're wondering where the 1 goes. And that shows you that sales increased 14.4%. Let's see what cost of goods sold increased. We're going to 2013 from 2012. I'm just showing you this first time so you get the math. Go ahead and figure it out. You'll see it came to 13.3%. Now do the cost of goods sold, and don't just subtract, because we're doing something a little different mathematically. It makes that a little more difficult. Go ahead and give it a shot. It comes out to 15.5%. Again, 115.5, but I dropped the 1. So you could say from 2012 to 2013, our sales increased 14%. Our cost of goods sold increased only 13. That's kind of positive. It's less than the 14.4, and that turned into gross profit being 15.5% when compared to last year. It increased by 15.5. That's a good change. And I just compared 2012 to 2013. That would be just a straight up horizontal analysis. Let's get a trend going now. I want you to do the same thing to 2014. Put me on pause and figure out those three numbers using our 2 from ratio. And yes, you do subtract 1 from it. Go team. When you look at 2014, since 2012, our sales have increased 27.7%, but our cost of goods sold have been kept from growing at that rate. They only have increased 22%, which has turned into a healthier bottom line of gross profit increasing by 33%. Very nice. Go ahead now and do 2015. From 2012 to 2015, our sales have increased 33.3%, but our cost of goods sold only increased 22%. We would have expected that to almost increase 33%. We'd have been holding our own, but it didn't. We've done better. That's generated an increase in gross profit of 44%. So that's a wonderful change. So you just experienced me doing horizontal analysis with you. And we did it using a 2 from ratio. And we did it for a year. And we also extended that to a trend. We focused only on the income statement. You could do that on the balance sheet, the income statement, all accounts, on anything that you want. My approach was trend analysis. Now, here comes the art of it. How did the results make you feel? Are you warm and fuzzy as a result of this? These are Lynette terms. Meaning you're thinking, I think this is positive. Or are you cold and prickly? Meaning you think, the more I look at this, the less I want to do it. Although I've only done one tiny piece of analysis and I have a lot to go, I'm currently in the warm and fuzzy camp. So, there's a look at horizontal analysis. Thanks a bunch for joining me. Talk to you soon.